Finding God is the greatest happiness. The purpose of human life is to find God. That is the only reason for our existence. Job, friends, material interests. These things in themselves mean nothing. They can never provide you with true happiness. For the simple reason that none of them, in itself, is complete. Only God encompasses everything. That is why Jesus said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you." Matthew 6 verse 33, "Seek ye first the giver of all gifts, and you shall receive from him all his gifts of lesser fulfillment." Joy is an aspect of God. Divine joy is like millions of earthly joys crushed into one. The quest for human happiness is like looking around for a candle while sitting out of doors in the sun. Divine joy surrounds us eternally, yet people look to mere things for their happiness. Mostly, all they find is relief from emotional or physical pain. Say this prayer to God for stronger devotion and connection to His love. My infinite beloved God, I know that you are nearer than these words with which I pray. Nearer than my nearest thoughts. Behind my every restless feeling, may I feel your concern for me, and thy love. Behind my awareness, may I feel sustained and guided by thy consciousness. Behind my love for thee, may I become ever more deeply conscious of your love. If you continuously pray to him in this way, and if you pray with all sincerity, you will feel his presence suddenly as a great joy in your heart. In that bursting joy you will know that he is with you, and that God is part of you. The true purpose of life is to know God. Worldly temptations were given to help you develop discrimination. Will you prefer sense pleasures, or will you choose God? Pleasures seem alluring at first, but if you choose them, sooner or later you will find yourself enmeshed in endless troubles and difficulties. Loss of health, of peace of mind, and of happiness is the lot of everyone who succumbs to the lure of materialism and sense pleasures. Infinite joy, on the other hand, is yours once you know God. Every human being will have, eventually, to learn this great lesson of life. Suffering is a reminder that this world is not our home. If it were perfect for us, how many people would seek a better one? Even with things as imperfect as they are, see how few people seek God. Krishna said, out of 1,000, perhaps one. The law of life is this: the less one lives in harmony with the truth within, the more he suffers. But the more he lives in harmony with that truth, the more he experiences unending happiness. Nothing then can touch him, even though his body waste away with disease and people ridicule and persecute him. Through all the challenges and unpredictability of life, he remains ever blissfully centered in the inner self. Deep meditation keeps the consciousness always on God, and lack of meditation keeps the consciousness on the senses. If you are not meditating and you still feel a nearness to God all the time, you are retaining the full benefit of your recent meditation. If you can retain the joy and thrill of meditation during the entire day, you are still meditating. You are then unattached to the senses. When you can feel God in the flesh as well as in meditation, it is complete. That is what those who follow the true path of meditation experience. Occasionally, a soul realizes the joy that is in meditation and searches for God day and night. Even when God doesn't answer, still he goes on until suddenly he finds God. We have to work to reach the infinite, and work in the right way. No one can give you self-realization. You have to work for that reward. All the spiritual teachers in the world cannot give you salvation unless you make the effort to receive it. Joy and God are one. Joy is the healing that you want first, the healing of the ignorance of the soul. Eventually you will have to dump the physical body in the dust, so you must think of spirit now. Affirmations are better than the usual form of prayers. Do not beg favors from God. He will not break any law of his universe because you asked him to. But when you demand your birthright as a child of his, then God will listen. A long prayer with words does not mean anything at all, for then the mind is wandering. Doing an affirmation, one should both say and feel deeply the meaning of the thought behind the words. Then the thought will go deeply into the conscious mind, then into the subconscious, and then into the superconscious. When it registers in the superconsciousness, it manifests. Always affirm with intelligence and devotion until your thought goes consciously through the subconscious mind into the superconscious mind. The greatest healing you should pray for is the healing of your ignorance, so that you will never go back to your old life. The best and highest reward in our life is the realization of unceasing happiness, which we call peace or bliss. If one loses a diamond and tries to satisfy himself with little pieces of broken glass, shining with sunlight, he is bound to be disillusioned. He cannot find the diamond in the pile of broken glass. He is seeking in the wrong place and can never be happy until he seeks in the right place and finds the diamond. In the same way, the soul tries to find its happiness in the momentarily glittering sense pleasures, but when it has enough of sense happiness, it becomes bored and empty, and tries to find peace and joy in the soul. It is foolish to expect true happiness from material things, for they are powerless to give it. And yet millions of people die of broken hearts trying vainly to find the comfort in material things which God alone can impart. The soul, being individualized spirit, if given a chance to unfold, can manifest all the fulfillment and satisfaction of the spirit. It is through long-continued contact with changeable matter that material desires are developed. Protect the soul from the disturbance created within your mind by the mad dance of sorrow-producing desire. Learn to overcome wild, ego desires. Realize that you do not need the things which create misery. For if you search within your soul, you will find their true happiness and lasting peace, or bliss. Thus you will become a bliss billionaire. The soul's nature is bliss, a lasting, inner state of ever-new, ever-changing joy which eternally entertains, even when one passes through the trials of physical suffering or death. Desirelessness is not a negation. It is rather the attainment of the self-control you need in order to regain the heritage of all fulfillment lying within your soul. First, give the soul the opportunity to manifest this state by meditation. Then, constantly living in this state, do your duty to your body and mind and the world. You need not give up your ambitions and become negative. On the contrary, let the everlasting joy, which is your true nature, help you to realize all noble ambitions. Enjoy noble experiences with the joy of God. Perform real duties in life with divine joy. Thank you and have a great day, my friends.